guys, good morning. It's Chrissy. I got to my appointment a little early, so I wanted to take a couple minutes and share with you some of the information that I got from Summit this week. We had the chance to hear from one of the real estate leaders in the industry. He is actually known as the Oracle, the godfather of real estate, Steve Harney. He's been in the business 25 years. He's recognized as one of the top market trends experts in the market. So here's what he had to share with us about the upcoming recession. I'm sure you guys have all heard about what's coming. The recession's coming. The market's going to crash. We're all going to panic. So what people are thinking about is 2008. And yes, that was a very scary time. But going into this next downturn or whatever's coming our way, I would like us, and Steve would like us too, to share this information with everyone so we're all prepared for what's coming and we can go into it strong instead of cowering in fear. So what he had to share with us is we are currently in the longest economic recovery in American history. So since 2008, our economy has been recovering. It's been 11 years and our economy is continuing to recover. So what ends in economic recovery is an economic slowdown. It's not a housing crisis, but is an economic slowdown. And a recession essentially is what it's called. And first, before we panic and think about that word recession because of our fears from 2008, let's define what that means. And a recession is a 2 consecutive quarters where the GDP slips. And GDP stands for gross domestic product, and it's the total monetary value of all finished goods and services produced within a country. Yes, I Googled that, so I would know what that means. And so essentially that means the value of what we produce here in the US drops for 2 consecutive quarters. It continues to go down, and that is what a recession means. It does not mean that the home prices are going to crash, does not mean that the world is going to end. That is what the definition of recession is. And so in this fall, the word recession is going to be all over the news. We're going to start hearing it over and over and over again through election day, essentially, is what Steve is predicting, that we're going to continue to hear that. So let's see what's happening. Let's know what's going on with the market so we can educate ourselves on what is out there. So when we look back at 2008, what triggered this big downturn was housing prices and a mortgage meltdown. And then, we look at what's happening now. Realtor.com actually did a survey of participants, and half of us, half of you, half of us in the American home buyer, citizens, wherever we are, we believe that, yes, a recession is coming. So when we take it further, Realtor.com took it a little further and looked at, what is going to cause this economic downturn, what's going to trigger it, and the top 3 answers were trade war, 1, stock market crashes, 2, and 3 is a geopolitical event. Housing did not make the top 3. In fact, when we're looking at housing, did not hit until number 9 on the list. So it's not going to be the trigger for, well, at least half the Americans believe. Half the Americans who believe there's a recession coming don't believe that housing is going to cause that downturn. So with that being said, let's look at 2008. Yes, it was terrifying. Yes, home prices dropped 10% in that last recession in 2008. So yes, it is something to keep an eye on. But let's look at the last 5 recessions. There's a lot of the last 5 recessions, home prices dropped during 2 of those recessions. So in 1991, they dropped by 2%, and we all know in 2008 they dropped by 10%. Those were, of the last 5, twice they dropped. In fact, so let's look back. We know about 2008. Let's look at 2001 when the stock market fell about 25%. Housing prices during that time actually rose 7%. Yes, that's right, 7%. And when we look at the other 2 before that, home prices also rose. I'm going to try to get my hands on that graph so I can show it to you guys. And the reason behind this is, what Steve explained to us, is when stock market prices go crazy, when things go nuts, people pull their money out of the stock market and they reinvest it in something that's more stable, which is real estate. So what we're seeing now, we're seeing that a lot. I have a lot of investors that I'm working with that are looking to scoop up properties right now because they know this is coming and they can make money off of this. That leads me to say another quote that Steve said that I wrote down is that millionaires are made during recessions. This is an opportunity that opens up, and we have a choice to make. We can either take advantage of it, or we can, just stand back and let it happen, wait for it to end. So for me, I would like to keep an eye on the market to see what decisions I'm going to make. Let's get all the information and make a decision when that time comes, rather than, stand back and just watch everything happen. I want the information for myself, for you guys, so that we can make educated decisions if and when that time comes for you. If it is right to not, invest, not purchase in this market, then absolutely, let's keep an eye on your home value and see what that means for you. But if this is a chance that you're looking at, if you want to be one of those millionaires that are made during recessions, we can look at that as well, if it makes sense. So, I think someone's here. So I will be keeping an eye on this. So follow along on my page if you guys would like the information. If you would like to talk about one-on-one about what this means for you and dive in depth into, what is my home worth? What does it make sense for me to buy? Let's look at that. Send me a message. Looking forward to talking to you. Thank you guys for watching.